Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, as you know, I am always searching for an entry-level drone. That is to say, a drone under $200, preferably around $150, that is a decent GPS camera drone. So far, I cannot say that I've found anything acceptable in that price range. The point being that what I'd like to find is a drone that I can recommend to people for somebody that's thinking about trying the hobby out, but they don't want to spend $400 or $500 on a better quality GPS camera drone. So I came across, and I got notes here so I get it right, the WLToys X1S GPS drone. And this has got a 1080p camera on it with a 2-axis gimbal, and it really does have a 2-axis gimbal, unlike that Potensic drone that I tested recently, and it's half the price of that one. So that's saying something. It's an interesting little drone. It's got 1806 brushless motors. Again, like I said, it's got a 2-axis gimbal. I'll bring it in closer so you can see it, and a 1080p video camera. I guess there is a higher spec version you can get, but the reason that I picked this one is because Banggood has a discount code, and I'm looking at my notes here. This is an amazing price, $136.58. So if this guy will provide stabilized, smooth, jello-free video, have a decent range, and when I say a decent range, a couple hundred meters is all I'm asking, and the transmitter operates on 4 AA batteries, and it's Wi-Fi with your phone, so you're never going to get a lot of range out of a drone like that. But that's okay, because you're just trying to figure out if you want to do this hobby. But what you got to have is, to me, a camera drone is worthless unless you get decent, stabilized, jello-free video. So we're going to see if this guy can do it. So what it doesn't do is this camera does not turn this way, so when you're yawing you might get a little bit of judder, but other than that it should be stable, because you can see it up and down and this way. So it'll be interesting to see what it does, and as you can see, it kind of looks vaguely like a Phantom drone, and the battery is similar. They're claiming, let me go through some of the specs here, 22-minute flight time. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you get 10 or 15 minutes, awesome. That's more than enough on a drone like this. They're claiming an FPV distance of 500 meters. Well, that would probably be a stretch. If it does that, that would be awesome. I'd be happy with 200 or 300 meters. It's got a 3150 milliamp LiPo battery, and I don't know if it's a smart battery, but it does have the button that you can push to tell how charged it is. So I assume it's a smart battery. 506 grams, so it's a little bit heavier. And then, of course, it is GPS positioning. It does have, you know, the typical things you're looking out for, return to home, etc. And it does have a few automated flight modes, and I didn't look at that stuff. I read the instructions, and typical of instructions on a drone like this, they're in a real small booklet that's hard to read, and the wording is subject to interpretation when you go through those. So really, we're just going to kind of stumble through it. So you're going to see me stumble through this thing and get it up in the air. So let me do the calibrations. I'm going to do a gyro calibration and a compass calibration, and then we'll get this guy in the air, and we'll see how it flies. And I really have high hopes for some nice stable video out of this guy, and if it gives us that, it will for sure be a drone that I can recommend to somebody that's not ready to buy that FIMI X8 SE or the Mavic Mini or you know, a Xeno 2 or whatever. Probably a good way to get started in the hobby. So let's quit messing around let's get this bird in the air. Okay, so it says we're ready to fly. I did a GPS calibration. I couldn't tell for certain if I got it right, although I can tell you the calibration thing disappeared off the screen, so I assume they meant that that was successful. And then I tried a gyro calibration, both sticks down and to the left, and it's supposed to beep. I didn't hear a beep, but it's saying that we're good to fly, so we're going to try that. Let's see if we can start recording. I'm going to hold down on the controller right here the button to start recording. Yeah, and that's a long press, and indeed I can see on the app here that it started recording. Hey, this is awesome. This thing is working great so far. Everything that I've seen is one of the best I've seen on a lower price drone, and I have a really good clear FPV view. So I would say that there's nothing to do now, but I don't know, let's try an auto takeoff. There's an auto takeoff button on the app, so let's go ahead and hit that. I'm going to get out of the way so you can see the drone. Yeah, you can see it there. Let's hit that button. Oh, so I have to unlock first, and that is on the controller. No, it says no unlock. Yeah, still no unlock. Yeah, for some reason I'm not getting the motors to start here. So it's got a lock unlock button right here. Maybe I'm just not holding it long enough, or maybe just a short press. Yeah, no unlock. Let's try a long press. Yeah, it keeps giving me the no unlock, and I don't know why. I know I'm connected. I've got telemetry, so yeah. Let me grab the manual one more time and take a look. Okay, so I looked at the manual and I'm doing it right. It's you press this unlock button. And for some reason it is not unlocking those motors to start. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to shut everything down, reboot it back up, and we'll give that a shot and see if we can get this thing going. Okay, it's asking me to do a calibration again, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I did that calibration. Now the lights were supposed to change on the bottom there. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see any change. The icon disappeared off the FPV screen, so I assume that means it's done. Let's set. I just see a lock icon on the thing on the app here, so maybe that's the way I can get it unlocked. But let's try it with the controller again, and yeah, nothing. Okay, so I just happened to see this icon in the bottom left. Yeah, it's okay. So then it tells me to unlock. I clicked yes, although it's still red. Yeah, no unlock. Guys, I have no clue what's going on here. And I have telemetry, so I know I'm connected. Well, I'm at a loss here. It will not unlock. So I press unlock on the screen, and it gives me a dialog box. I click yes, and it still doesn't unlock. Don't know why, and I don't see anything in the instruction manual either. Yeah, I'm trying to calibrate. I'm hitting the buttons here to calibrate, and it just, in this menu, holding it down, it lights up, doesn't do anything. Okay, let's hit unlock one more time here. Warning, unlock. Yes. And it doesn't unlock. I don't know, I'm going to shut down here for a second and see if I can mess around with it and figure out what's going on. Okay, so for whatever reason, we got a successful unlock now. So I don't know if you can hear that motor. I'm hearing something in one of those motors that does not sound right, but We'll try a takeoff just to see. So let's unlock again. It fires up the motors. Auto takeoff. Well, it sounds okay now. Guys, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure what the issue was, but look at this, it's nice and stable. Let's go ahead and start recording. And it is. I've got an SD card in there, so I hope it is indeed recording to the SD card. Pretty quick yaw. I've got it in high speed mode here. Let's bring it in. Very stable. I'm telling you, the drone is flying really nice. Like I said, that yaw is a little bit, I'm going to change that on the app here to low. Yeah, I didn't seem to change it much. There's a button on there that you can change rudder, which by that they mean yaw. Let's see how close we can get it in here. So you can see that gimbal working. So it moved around there a little bit. I had to pull it back. But overall, looking pretty good. Of course, now the sun is really bright. I wish it would have worked a little better before. So I am in a spot now. There's some people playing frisbee golf there, but I can go away from where they're at. So let's do a little. We're going to do a little droney. So I'm seeing it move around just a little bit. I got a little bit of a circular motion there when I stopped, but not bad. Typical of being in the hot sun, it's really kind of playing havoc with my phone right now, so I'm losing FPV. Boy, it's fairly quick. I'm not at full throttle. So far so good. Let's bring it back in here just to show that we can. Okay guys, I'm going to move the camera here, see if I can get in some shade. Okay, you can see it there. Yeah, what happens with when you're in direct sunlight with the iPhone, it definitely messes with, it heats it up and it starts dimming the display where it gets almost impossible to see. Okay, let's see if we can raise and lower the camera. Yeah, that works well. I don't know what my issue was before, but we got it figured out here finally. I mean, I don't know what I did to fix it. We just cycled it again and it seemed to work. Okay, we're going to do another droney, reverse and up. Get the camera down here. Pick it up. Guys, I'm a little bit blind. There's that rule of thirds, and I can see, what I can see on FPV is I can see that there is a fair amount of fisheye effect, but that's okay. You know, that's on a drone of this price range, you know, that kind of stuff is to be expected. So let's go back a little ways and up. And I'm kind of over by the cell phone tower there. Let's yaw around. And the controls there were a little bit wonky. It took it a second to take that command. So there again, everybody's going to talk about that cell phone tower, and maybe that does have something to do with it, but this, I'm going to say that it's more the fact that this is a Wi-Fi from your phone, and so you're just going to have limited range in it. Let's back it up here. And a lot of lag. Took it a while to take that command. Okay, we're going to bring it back to us. Let's go forward here. We're going to go away from that cell phone tower. And it's going over the top of me here. I wish I could tell you how fast it's going. I can't really see it. I can't really see it on the screen. So because I'm kind of under the tree here so I can see my phone, it's really not a fair test of, yeah, and I can see the Wi-Fi signal kind of going in and out. You see it got yellow there for a while. Oh, there's the speed at the bottom. And I'm sorry that I couldn't see that earlier because, like I said, the brightness on my phone really dimmed when I was standing there in the hot sun. Like I said, I'm going to say that if we have a good stable jello-free video, I'm going to call this a win. I mean, I can watch the gimbal working there, and it seems to be doing what it should. And you know, the closer in I am, the better the controls work. So you don't want to get out very far. Yeah, and I'm starting to get a little bit of brightness back in my screen now since I'm standing under the shade. I can see a little bit better. Yeah, you guys can see it there. Let me yaw it back and forth. And you can watch that gimbal work, and you can see it lower just a little bit. Reversing up. And we're not going to go out there too far. That is about how far out there is that? It is so hard for me to see on my screen here. Yeah, we're about 24 meters distant. Okay, let's get some altitude and let's see how far the other way we can go. And so I'm going to step away from the audio a little bit on the camera. Flying over the top of us here. Centering it more so that I've got more of a direct line of sight with the controller. And we are out 100 meters. And I've still got green. Yeah, I'm out 104 meters. And it's taken the controls well. Let's yaw to the left. And as you would expect on a drone like this, that yaw is just a little bit jerky. but I'm going to say acceptable at this price point. So let's go over, and I'm going to see if I can, I'm going to kind of go behind the trees here, so I'm hoping that I don't lose signal. Yeah, I can see I'm getting red signal. Yeah, but we got it back. So because I had the tree in between me and the drone is why we lost that. And there again, it's Wi-Fi from your phone, so you're not going to get huge range. And there I'm staring up at the drone. Oh, it's down to 33% battery, so we better bring it home. Let's try return to home. So I hit return to home, and here it comes. Boy, it went pretty fast. It came home pretty darn fast. So it's coming down here. Looks pretty darn accurate. Yeah, you're going to be able to see it here on the screen. It's pretty damn close, guys. So did you hear those props when it shut down? That kind of like ratcheting noise? So I don't know what that is, but I am going to stop recording and I'm going to try it. So we were recording there for about 9 minutes and they're claiming a 20-minute flight time. So I'm going to say it's not that, but I'm going to say this is perfectly acceptable for a drone in this price point. And what you'll probably want to have is a couple of batteries. Yeah, let me and see now. Look at typical as I found on some of these too. It said down to 30%, and it was below 30% in the red. And now you can look on the screen, and it's landed. Now it's saying 59%. So, yeah, I mean, clearly not the most accurate battery meter that we've ever seen. In fact, it's climbing now. So let me stop recording. And it did that. It took that command. Let me shut it down. And hey everybody, so I waited to do the conclusion for this drone, the WLToys X1S. I've got my cheat sheet because I want to make sure I get that right. All these numbers and letters, it's easy to get them transposed. I wanted to get home and look at the video off the SD card. And I gotta say, it's just another disappointment. Couple of things here. The camera isn't even, they call it 1080p, but the quality of it, man, it reminds me of the cell phones from 15 years ago. I mean, you know, when you had the old flip phone and had a video camera on it, it just really isn't a very good quality. Even though the 2-axis gimbal helped a lot, you know, for instance, if you look at the review I did of the Potensic Dreamer, this 2-axis gimbal is way better than what was on that drone. If this drone had that camera, or if that drone had the gimbal that's on this one, we'd probably be kind of in the ballpark. But even with the gimbal on this drone, you saw some jello and some shaking. And to me, you know, what's the point of having a camera drone if you don't get decent video? And like I said, it doesn't have to be the highest quality. 1080p. So as you could see in the video, the timing of the video was also weird too. So I'm going to blame part of that on the lag in FPV. So the difference between what you saw in the FPV feed and the camera feed. But also, I believe that video timing was off too, because it would fall way behind. Or I can't remember if it would get ahead or fall behind, but I kept having to readjust it and resynchronize it. So that's kind of weird. And then as far as the drone itself, I really struggled getting the thing going. I still don't know what I did differently to unlock it. All of a sudden it unlocked, so okay, we're going to fly it. Then you heard that weird noise out of the motor, that ratcheting sound. That said, GPS-wise, I mean, it was fairly stable. Not a lot of toilet bowling, that kind of thing. Range-wise, you know, it didn't have a whole lot of range, but that's okay. In a cheaper drone, you don't expect a lot of range, but a lot of FPV lag, which can be a problem because you're looking at that screen just when you're trying to yaw smoothly or whatever, and if it's yawing and you have that lag on the screen, you can't see what you're doing, you can't frame up the shot, etc. Now, all of that in the context of this is about a $150 drone. It's making me think, you know, I keep thinking that I'm going to be able to find a lower price drone like that that will take some reasonable video, but I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to lose it here. I'm not sure that it'll ever happen. I just think you get down to that price range and they just don't build enough into them. So, you know, in the cheaper drones, I'm still going to say the original Hubsan Zeno is the king. To me, that's the bottom line acceptable drone, and you can pick those up for about $250 on Banggood or some of the other Chinese websites. So, but you know, before I'd spend $150 on this WLToys, I'd move on up and I would buy that original Hubsan Zeno. So that said, there is a discount code available on this. I'm looking at my notes. It brings it down to $136.58. So I'm a Banggood affiliate, so I'll put that link in the description down below. And hey, if you want to buy this thing, there you go, $136.58. I struggle to recommend it, even for a beginner, just simply because I just think you're going to have, you know, when you have problems even getting the drone in the air to begin with and so forth, and then you don't get the kind of video quality that you want and it doesn't fly because of the lag, it was more difficult to control than other drones. So in any case, that's it. You can look at the video and you can make your own decision on what you think, but that's just my two bits. So there you have it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and we will see you on the next one. And yeah, we're gonna, I think, stick to more mid-price drones for a while that are gonna fly like we would hope that they would. So anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.